like that.
Well, I feel like I'm about to do a hot 16 real quick.
I like that. Mr. Too Icy himself. Okay. We see you. There you go.
Check.
Uh-huh. That's our one.
Episode 1. We gonna get straight to it.
It's a good day to be on NSP, baby. Never Sunday Podcast. With me, your host, PM.
And if you ain't already know, it's your boy Claire. It ain't so.
And we are the Never Sunday Podcast.
All right, so how you feeling this week, bro?
I mean, I'm feeling good. It's been a trying week for both of us, really.
Yeah.
Honestly, but you just gotta get through it to get to it. Now we here filming.
Facts.
I think for us, we know, but for them, they just finding out. Me and you both had the same kind of bad luck over the past 2 weeks with the cars.
Oh yeah.
Kia boys done hit me up. They done did me dirty. They tried to take my car. I'm humble. They tried to take the little Kia. For those who don't know, I think it started in the Midwest, a little TikTok challenge. So Kia boys come out. They doing all type. Go on YouTube. We not promoting them. They doing all type of documentaries, all type of crazy stuff. So somebody found out stealing Kias, Hyundais is the easiest thing to take. So I go out. Mind you, I wake up 5 a.m., go out to my car, glass all over the ground. So I think somebody tried to steal my car. I live close to the city, so yeah, it's whatever. Things happen. It's happened to me before when I lived in the city. But so I look, it's nothing going. I don't have nothing in my car anyway, so I'm sitting there looking, car seats. All I have car seats in the back. So I'm like, why is somebody gonna break in with the car seats? But these don't care anyway. So then I walk back in the house. I tell my wife, I'm like, oh, somebody broke my window. I'm gonna get the broom. I'm gonna clean it up. Blah blah blah. And I say it. I'm like, I'm lucky because I've been seeing the little Kia boys. So I'm like, I'm lucky they didn't steal my car. So it was like a light bulb in my head. It switches on. I'm like,
I gotta go back out.
I gotta go back out there and look. So for sure, I go back out there and look. My steering wheel is in 50 pieces. I'm telling you, 50 pieces everywhere. It looked like a Transformers fight out there.
Man.
So call Progressive, get it fixed up, got the glass fixed, got to get the steering wheel fixed and all that. But, I mean, we here. But, I mean, that's my piece. But I know your piece, too. Well, I know, but you was there, so you got to give us that first hand.
So this was probably maybe almost a month ago. It'll be almost a month Thursday.
Yeah.
Almost a month Thursday. So I'm getting ready to get up, go to work. Normal day, you feel me? Like, nothing different. Like, I just get up. I don't eat breakfast because I never really eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my mind, I'm like, all right, I got to hurry up and get out the house, make sure I'm here on time. I go outside. Well, not outside, but it's technically outside, but I had to go out the door, up the steps to the parking garage. And as soon as I get through the first door, I look. And I see my front bumper is just hanging. So I'm looking around to kind of see if anybody else's car got hit for real. Because I'm like, yo, there's no way that my car got hit. And there's probably like 4 or 5 other cars that was parked right here. But I don't know because I parked my car when I came home from work. I never went back outside. So I'm like, all right. So I see the girl that's parked next to me, she's leaving out.
Uh-huh.
She's backing out because she parked head in. And mind you, I always back in. One thing y'all gonna learn about me, I don't never pull in to a parking spot. So if you see my car, I ain't gonna tell you which one it is. If you see my car parked head in, you know I was not driving. So, long story short, she's backing out and she's looking at me.
Yeah.
To see if I know that my car got hit. So I'm trying to figure out why she's staring at me because it's like 7:15 in the morning maybe. And I'm like, what is she looking at? Like, she just backing up. I'm standing still. She don't hit me. So, like, what is she looking at? Bro, I look down in my car. I didn't even react. Like, I just stood there. I'm just like, yo, like, why? How?
Exactly.
Who? Like, yo.
And the person, so that was the person who hit you that's sitting there looking at you.
No.
You said
it
cross?
was not, nah. So when the chick that was backing out, she was looking at me to see if I registered as to what I was looking at. She saw it as she was getting ready to pull off. So she looked at me, I guess, to think like, okay, maybe I just don't want him to think that I did this because I
So if he see me, he looking at me, he know I ain't,
right.
I ain't hit his
it
shit.
wouldn't have made a difference because you didn't have no damage on your car. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to expect it anyway because you were driving off by the time I realized what the hell just happened. But yeah, man, I found out that somebody hit my car at 12. I can't remember the times. It was like 12 in the morning. So they had been drunk. They hit my car, stopped, and then just sped off. And then I had to go on a wild goose chase to figure out who it was. Found out who it was.
Oh, we found out who it was.
Because I got 2 degrees. So you feel me? I'm a criminal justice major. It don't take much for me to figure out what I need to know. So, yeah. I mean, other than that, bro, I'm just happy that we here recording. You know, we between you and I getting sick, the car situation, like, bro.
And this goes into a whole nother story that, aside from that, podcast was supposed to come out last week on the 3rd. Excuse me. So it's supposed to come out last week on the 3rd. Not only do I get sick, I'm feeling good the whole day. I'm at work chilling, blah, blah, blah. But I get home around 6 p.m. I start around 5:30. I start getting hot. I'm laying down in the bed. I'm going to take me a nap. We going to film. It's going to be all good. We good to go. So take me a nap, whatever. I hit bro. Hey, I'm going to take a nap. 30 minutes. Wake up. We're going to be good to go. 10 minutes into that nap. Wake up. Throat hurting. Itching. 101-degree fever. Good. Feeling like shit. So not only that, but another story from this day right before then. So for me, I got a little bit of a commute to work. So, but for the past, I want to say, couple years, I've always had a hour and a half commute to work. So one of my golden rules coming home is don't ever be drinking a whole bunch of water, smoothies, all this. So what do? I'm at a new job this week. It's my first week on site, right? So I go out here.
Shout out to the new job.
Both of us.
Yes, sir.
So I go out and I'm looking around where I work because it's a new area. I've never really been over there before. So I'm saying to myself, just find something to eat. Just find whatever. The only thing I can find is tropical smoothie. So I don't get no food, nothing. I'm hungry, but all I get is a tropical smoothie. You know, everybody know if you on the East Coast, you got tropical smoothie. They only come in one side. They give you the big old smoothie for like 7 hours. So I get that, 2 bottles of water. Go back to work. It's about an hour before I leave. Drink the whole thing. Which is cool. I'm at work.
Right.
I'm a grown man.
You
I'm 30. I'm 30. I'm a grown man. Wife, kids, all that. Make responsible choices.
Yeah.
Drink the whole smoothie. Gone. Brought one of the water bottles with me in the car. Left one in the car. So I get the water bottle. I drink the whole water bottle. Drank the whole water bottle. And this is right before I'm about to go home. So I don't got to go to the bathroom then. So I'm sitting there. Get in the car. Cool. I'm cool. But I got about an hour, 40-minute drive home. So I'm sitting there driving. I'm cool. Almost halfway through the drive, I pull out another water bottle. Drink the whole thing.
Tripping.
I'm still cool. 20 minutes later, the floodgates start to open.
Tripping.
I'm telling you, the floodgates start to open.
All of y'all that know me, y'all know what happened when y'all break that bag.
I'm telling you. And if y'all don't know, we're from the DMV, right? I stay outside of D.C. Bro stays around Baltimore area.
Baltimore ain't on there.
Somewhere around there. Cause y'all ain't gonna know where we stay. I stay somewhere around D.C. He stays somewhere around Baltimore. That's all you need to know.
Right.
So 10 minutes, about 15 minutes for the ride's up, I'm like, oh, we filming a podcast. So I need to get some extra stuff. I got to go to Best Buy, but I got to go. Like, the floodgate's about to open, but it's not bad to where I'm like, I'm stressing. But I think it's because I'm sitting down, so I hit the Best Buy, and people from the DMV maybe know. My Best Buy near me got a 2-level parking garage, top and bottom. The Best Buy's on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Next to Shoppers. So if you from around here, you know where I'm at. So I get up, I take like 5 steps, maybe, and the floodgates. I'm talking about it's a national emergency. It's bad.
Boy,
like
we up there in age now. We can't be holding
I'm telling you, I'm a grown man. It's bad for me. I'm doing real bad. I'm like,
no more.
And I'm standing there. So I got 4 options. Either I could go downstairs in the garage, do what I need to do, but anybody knows it's Best Buy know what I'm talking about. They have a police car in front, up top, police at the bottom.
Yo.
So I'm not trying to go to jail for doing what I got to do in a parking garage. Second option, and I ain't never seen a Best Buy that got a public bathroom ever in my life. So I'm like, second option, I could go in there, ask them if I could use their bathroom. And likely they're going to tell me, no, we don't got no public bathroom. This for employees only. So I'm like thinking that's bad. Third option, there's a Shoppers right next to this. So now I'm giving more context. Now y'all really know where I'm at. But the Shoppers are a little walk. I know it's a public bathroom and shop. I know. So I'm like, I could make it in there, but I got to go. Like, this is bad. This is category 5, magnitude 10. I'm a grown man, and I'm about to have a shoe full of business. So I turn around. I think the best thing I could do, because when I'm sitting down, I'm cool.
Right.
I was really cool. So I'm going to get back in the car. I'm right down the street from the house. Don't go into Best Buy. Get back in my car. Text my wife. Ask the stuff I need from Best Buy. Hey, can you get this? And I'm telling her. She laughing at me. I'm like, I got to go, so blah, blah, blah. She laughing at me.
But she don't know that it's serious. Like, this is a story
exactly
that you don't want to tell nobody.
And you laughing at me.
Yeah, like, come on now.
But I would have been laughing at her too, so I can't blame her. But so I do that. And kind of when I sit down, it's cool because I guess it's kind of like, I don't know, pinching off or whatever. So I'm kind of cool, but it's still like an 8-minute drive home. Mm-hmm. So halfway, it's like getting bad. I'm telling you, I'm sitting sideways in my car, like driving. Fidgeting, kicking the legs, doing all this.
You who know how bad that feels, you know that an 8-minute drive feels like a 30-minute drive, especially when you hit all the red lights.
When you got to hit that business. For real.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't act like y'all don't know. Because we going to find out who really on our side in the comment section. We going to know.
Yeah, for sure. We going to know. We see y'all and we going to know.
Because some of y'all, I swear to God, some of y'all come in these comments capping. I'm not gonna air y'all out. I'm gonna just send you a message privately, like, yo, don't do that. It's like, nah, I'm just messing with y'all. This is a safe space. But yeah, my bad, Brian. I mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you good. We always gotta get the people context, and where I forget is where he'll know, and where he forget, I'll know. So
man, I said I wasn't gonna cuss. I'm sorry. We're gonna edit that out.
We gonna edit it out anyway, man.
But I'm trying my hardest. And this is coffee. This is iced coffee in my cup.
For those who don't know, we're a good men of God around here.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, finish the story, bro.
So bro already knows. Pull up to the crib. My complex. I don't know. Complex. See, that's the perfect way. It's complex. So we pull up.
Hold on, bro.
Go ahead.
So after he told me he got his car broken into, I'm thinking he got me parking my car where he got his car broken into. So I'm like, bro, I mean, even though I don't care, I trust bro. But in my mind, I'm like, your car just got broken into. What they gonna do to mine?
Right, exactly.
I ain't gonna tell you what I drive, but my car okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he a little futuristic, so he don't gotta worry about it. You know, the kid thing, I gotta take that back.
Oh, I trust and believe. I still gotta worry about it because if I go to U Street in DC or somewhere, I guarantee.
They gonna bust that.
Yeah,
because we all know we both got a good homie. He drive the little yeah. He push a little yeah. This man got the worst track record ever. Every time he go to DC, every time he go to U Street, bust his window. It's been 4 or 5 times, 6 times. Every time he go out there.
I stopped counting. Matter of fact, I didn't even stop counting. I just don't drive to DC anymore.
Exactly.
I catch a hack. For all my Baltimore people, y'all know what I'm talking about. I catch hacks.
Exactly. And if you're not from DC, use them parking garages. Please do not park on the street.
Pay for convenience.
You might think, it's secluded. It's in a parking garage, so they'll probably go in there because there's more private for them to bust the window. They do not care. These DC youngins do not care.
Nobody.
They'll see if you got a nice car, and if you got tint especially, they'll think immediately something in there.
Yep.
And I'm going to get it. And they'll take a brick, rock, pole, crowbar, anything. Get you. And it's up.
Yeah. But yeah, he had me parking the little joint. I'm, watching my car, But it is what it is, man. Like, life always just has a way of humbling you. Like, you could be doing everything right, and it just be this minor setback every single time. It don't matter what it is.
Every time.
It could be a referral at work. It could be one of your friends having an issue with something, or it doesn't matter what it is. It's just like, no matter what you do in life, you can do everything right. But it's always that chance that life just got a way of reminding you that, like, yo, you're still human.
The craziest part is, though, a lot of the time, when you notice stuff going wrong, that means stuff going right in your life. When stuff's going bad, it's always bad. You always mad. You always angry. So what? So if everything is terrible, it's always going to be terrible.
Facts.
But the one good thing about it that a lot of people I feel like should think is, hey, if you noticing stuff going bad, that means stuff going good because it's out the normal. What this happened is out the normal.
Yep.
So most everything is going good. It's like the little thing with the cars. You just can't stress, especially things going good. You can't stress that little stuff because y'all start worrying about the wrong thing. But really, to finish where I left off, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, we good. So we on the saga. I park where I got to park is on the opposite end of the side of the building I live in.
Mm.
So it's another cool 3-minute walk. So,
mind you, that's still 30 minutes.
I'm already prepared, but this is where it gets really critical in the story, and
you didn't even tell me this today, so I'm listening.
I ain't tell bro to the day.
I'm just gonna listen. I'm not gonna interrupt. You got the floor.
I really want to say this. So boom, get in front of the side, get in, take the elevator to my floor. I get out. I'm kind of cool, but I'm doing this thing like it sounds hilarious. But
I know you laughing because you tell me everything damn near, and you didn't tell me this, so I know it's some funny shit.
I had to say it because what really happened was, so I'm thinking like, hey, when I'm sitting down and I'm like in an L-shaped position, I'm kind of cool. So I'm kind of walking like that, like Quasimodo, hunchback, like I'm walking kind of folded over to keep myself cool. So I'm like, cool. So I'm like, I'm gonna make it. Halfway down the hallway, it starts to get bad.
Oh my God.
Bladder started hurting. It's on fire. So I pick up the pace. But I can't get a jog or run because I'm like, if I start that, I'm done.
It's over with.
This whole hallway gonna be reeking. So I do this thing, and mind you, this is not my proudest story because I'm a grown man. I'm 30 years old.
Yo.
I got kids. This is not my proudest story.
Yo.
So I do this thing, and it start working. It start working, right? Yo. So I'm not only am I a hunchback Quasimodo, right? I'm walking, knocking. My knees are touching.
Like Marlon wears the white chick.
My knees are touching, and I'm doing like this jog, like a penguin waddle with my knees touching.
Yo.
And I get a quarter of the way there. There's 2 hallways left. The final boss. Boom. I'm cool. I pimped through the first hallway, and now I'm on the final boss. I could see my door, and it gets even worse. So I'm like, now it's even worse. Now my toes are touching.
Hey, yo.
My knees are touching. My toes are touching. I'm in the L position, and I'm doing a penguin waddle jog.
You started praying too. I know you did.
It was almost over, and it's the worst thing when you buy a house and you at the finish line. You at the promised land.
Fumbling the keys and just.
You at the promised land, but it's so I boom. I already got the keys out in my hand. I'm already prepped, and I got to bring it back because when I started, I left out a key piece of information. When I started this walk, I had shades on. When I got in the building, I had shades on. Halfway through, I took the shades off. I said, "It's so dark. I gotta take these off." I said, "If I don't take it," I felt like if I did, I legitimately in my mind felt like if I didn't take the shades off, it's over with. Like business is getting done if I don't take these shades. I legitimately felt like that.
Oh my God, bro.
So I'm sitting. I get the door open. I don't even.
Suspense is really killing me though. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't even register in this in my mind. But everything. I got my work backpack on my back. my shades in my hand, keys in my hand, hair tie in my hand. No, I got the locks. I had my hair bag, trying to be professional for work. Had that in my hand. Everything in my hands in my backpack explode off my body. Boom, get off me. I'm like, boom, get off me. But I don't even realize I do it. And I make it to the bathroom by a sec. I just barely made it. So for everybody, this is a hero story because I made it. I go back in the hallway. I'm not, mind you, I don't realize what I look everything. Keys over here. Shades over here. Backpack over there. I'm throwing everything, but I made it.
Yo.
Made it perfect.
Boy, it was close. Close call.
And not only did this, made it perfect just so that I could lay down to take a nap. 10 minutes later, I'm sick.
God.
Don't get to do the pod anyway.
That's a hell of a damn story.
Yo. That's a hell of a story.
I'm not even going to lie. That's a hell of a story simply because I did not know that all that was going on.
I had to save it for the pod. You got to save some things so you know they feel.
That's very true. But, yo, I met this man in 08. Backstory, I met him in 08.
Mm-hmm.
We was in high school. I'm not going to tell you the backstory of where we lived at. And
I want to say 2007.
I swear it was 08.
Because it was 10th grade, right?
10th grade?
Yeah, 10th grade.
Because we graduated in 10.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so my math is not mathing.
That's okay.
My math, I'll take it back because you start in 06. We start in 06. So 6 to 10, we went to high. So 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10.
Who started in 06?
High school? 9th grade?
Oh, yeah.
4 years. 6 to 10.
You started there in 06. I didn't start there in 06.
Yeah. No, I started in 7. I didn't get there until 10th grade.
Oh, so you got there around, you was there at the beginning of the school year. I got there after winter break.
Yeah. So we started the same year then.
Yeah.
So I didn't start there till 10th grade.
Oh, yeah. So first day of school, right? Unfamiliar territory. I'm coming from one dynamic, one environment, stuff that I'm used to. Boy, I swear to God, it felt like I got set back 10 years. The way that they was dressing down there.
To put it lightly.
And if I'm lying.
To put it lightly.
Tell me if I'm lying, bro. I was wearing, this was back when Hollister and skinny jeans was a thing.
And dopes.
That too, but I ain't have enough money then.
Yeah, me either.
But I was wearing what? Air Forces, shell heads, anything that I could make it look fly. But you just knew that I was not from there because how everybody else dressed that was down there. So,
exactly.
Of course, I stuck out like a sore thumb. Me and my brother did. Damn.
Fly. I can vouch they was fly. They was fly to me because I was broke. I was at Marshall's. I was marshalling it up. I wasn't doing no Hollister. Later on in high school, I started doing up a little bit.
I don't care how much money I got in life. I'm still shopping at Marshall's.
For sure.
Ross,
for sure.
TJ Maxx.
What else?
Clearance aisle.
For sure. All that.
Wherever.
I don't need that. Designer, nothing.
If it's a sale, hey, all hell.
I'm telling you, designer, nothing in my house. Except for the shades. I like doing the designer shades a little. The shades.
The most designer you'll probably see me in now is probably either Nike, maybe Puma, Under
No,
Armour.
I'm talking about that like Gucci and all that. You don't need all that stuff. Stuff you wear once. Stuff you wear once, then they think you corny. Like, oh, he didn't repeated the Gucci. He didn't repeated the Louis. He didn't repeat all that. So we just seen him wear that. If I got a $1,200 sweater, hoodie. You see me every day. I'm wearing that Monday to Sunday. I don't care. If I pay that much, which I'm never paying that much.
$1,200 worth of wear out, that's sweater for sure. But, yeah, bro, first day, I'm like, damn. Everybody know I'm from not down here.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm not from down here. So it's like, all right, cool. Let me just stay in my lane. Then I think it was towards the end of the day. Because I don't think English class wasn't the last period of the day. I think it was the second to last period of the day. It might have been. I don't remember.
Yeah, whatever period. That's where I first met her. So we met in English class.
Yeah.
And with Miss Y, we ain't going to give you no clout. But Miss Y, this is what you get. Miss Y. You ain't going to get no clout because me and you, we was beefing.
Yeah, hard.
I
swear to God, bro. I walked in. She was fussing him out. And I'm like, dang, my man got his coat on. He got an app on his pocket. Like, he seemed like he getting ready to be a straight A student. He about to give the apple to her. He like,
what I do?
She giving him hell.
In a shell.
And I just sit down. Everybody asking me where I'm from. I tell them where I'm from, tell them my name. You know, the whole nine when y'all in a new environment. So they sit me next to him. Of all people.
Of all people. Delinquent.
Of all people. I
Delinquent.
She sits me right next to him. And, you know, he just, all right. Dap me up. He hit me one of them.
For sure.
Okay.
I'm a delinquent, but I'm personable. I'm personable.
Very cordial. Very cordial. I lied to you not. 15 minutes into the damn class, this fool gets out of the chair because we're reading a story that's not to his liking, takes his coat off, folds it up like it's a pillow, lays in the aisle, and goes to sleep.
Out. But this is funny because I feel like we've gone over this story before, but I never got like your like take of like how it went because my take was different, right? So
I definitely got to hear from you.
So this is what happened. What he said happened. But for me, I had it firsthand, so it was a little more filler, right? So to me, I come into class, and it's very early on. If it's not the first day, it's very early on. And Miss Y was one of them teachers, right? That if you are not paying attention, you get asked the questions. So I got asked the questions constantly because I did not care. So that day, from what I remember, it was a day I just wasn't having it. Bad mood. I'm already cutting up. I'm always cutting up in high school. Always
probably
been
that deep dish pizza. That's probably what it was.
Probably what it was.
Right.
But so I'm paying no attention. I think I'm napping for real. I think I keep going to sleep, and she keep waking me up, which is her job. But as how old are you in 10th grade? Like 15?
Dang, how old? That was so
15, 16? Yeah, like
About
16
that.
years old. So a 16-year-old, you think, oh, they disrupting me? Not they doing their job. So I feel like she disrupted me. She keep going on. So class going on for a while. Like you said, they got the story going, all that.
Reading out loud. I don't want to read because I don't know nobody. I don't want nobody to think I need a Cat in the Hat book and no shit like
Exactly.
that. So like I'm just sitting there like just reading, going along with it.
So after a while, she started getting frustrated. And I remember she started saying my name a little loud.
Her face started turning red too.
She started saying my name a little loud. So I don't say nothing. By the whatever time this is, 5th, 6th, 7th time she asked me a question. I'm like, okay, you want to get loud? All right, bet. I say nothing. But I'm looking at her in the eyes the whole time. I stand up.
Straight
like
depth,
bro said.
Depth stare.
I'm looking at her. I still say nothing. I had the black.
I remember this coat.
Timberland coat.
I don't remember what you had on. I just remember the
coat
coat because it was a black coat with the fur on the hood.
With the fur on the hood. The big black Timberland jacket with the fur on the hood.
And for those of you who know what we talking about, you know that coat.
You know.
Because we was wearing that coat.
You had the long, it wasn't like a trench coat, but it was still like the longer coat. Had you down, you was good to go. Fur on the hood, I take it off, boom, roll it up.
You could have just an undershirt on in that joint if you wanted to. That's how warm
For sure
kept you.
So I take it off, boom, roll it up, boom, put it on the floor, and I legitimately go to sleep, not fake sleep. I was kind of trying to flex and feel like I was putting her in her place, which I wasn't, and I apologize, Miss Y. Looking back, you were just doing your job. But I was going to do the fake sleep, but I really fall asleep. Bell rings, I wake up. Boom! Detention in school, whatever it was, in school suspension, whatever, on the desk. She don't even send me to the principal, she just hit me with that, boom. But after that, we had a cool little relationship. We went back and forth, but this was my introduction to bro and his introduction to me coming in English class with Miss Y, just being a delinquent. And I'm just like, I don't even know why I was doing stuff like, but my whole high school career, I was doing shit like this every day.
I'm pretty sure that you would have been in and out of juvie. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I'm telling you.
I'm pretty sure. Like I always say that God has a way of putting people in your life for a reason. Like
for a reason, for sure.
God, bro. I know it was February. All I remember was February in 2008. I don't remember the exact day.
Yeah.
All I know is we met. after that day, we've been friends ever since. Like
Ever since 15 years plus.
and even when you went away to the military, by the way, thank you for your service.
6 years in that thing.
But it just like I don't know, bro. Like they would have to know us to understand
Exactly.
that this podcast is really long overdue because
This is 15 years of brotherhood. 15 years plus of actual brotherhood, like best friend brotherhood, day in, day out. Even the times in our life where you go separate ways. Bro went to college. I did the military thing. You
started
never
off in
part as
college,
brothers.
though.
You never part as brothers. Never. He started off in college.
no,
and that's
we started off in college because we both was in there
we both was.
in enrollment 101. You was doing your thing, I was doing my thing. We's all right, bet. You went the general studies route, I went computer science route. First semester, I'm like, damn.
I just want to clear this up. I went the no studies route.
You did.
I didn't
ultimately.
choose nothing.
You did ultimately, but on
So,
your transcript.
but
it
no,
just
I'm
said-
talking about day one. So this is cool. Everybody went to college. Y'all all know
I swear
how
to God,
college
general
go.
Studies.
Nothing. I didn't do nothing. So this is even worse because he may not know this, but the day you get into college, the very first day when you're a freshman, they have you do all this stuff I didn't want to do, so I didn't do it. Like they have you take all them aptitude tests, see what math you're gonna be in.
Yeah.
So they set you up in a computer class.
Yep.
So bro get one class, bro get one room to go take his
And you
test.
went
I get another one. So I'm like, bro, I bet I'll see you after. He go in there. I never went in there. I never took none of the tests, nothing. They put me in the basic math, the basic English, the basic whatever, all the basic general studies course. I ain't take none of the tests. I did half the enrollment. So the lady looking at me, she called me and you didn't take them, blah, blah, blah. You didn't take the test. You didn't do this. You didn't do that, blah, blah. So the guidance counselor going like, this is like a couple of days later. I'm like, just give me general studies. So the first day I did nothing but enroll in the college and I ain't take none of the stuff.
And you
None
know
of
what's
it.
even crazier? We both graduated high school and never planned on going to college. That's the crazy part. We literally
Me especially. I ain't
shout out
going to
UMES
college.
though.
Shout out UMES. Y'all
All
did
my
y'all
UMES
thing.
alumni, like
But y'all got over on me
here's
too.
my story. They got over me too, but that's neither here nor there. I got both my degrees, so that's all that matters. But literally, I had applied to Bowie. I had applied to the University of Florida,
Yeah.
and that was it. And I'm sitting down with my parents, like after we had graduated high school, and I'm like, yo, like, if I don't go to college, I'm gonna have to find a job.
Yeah.
Ended up finding a job working at Red Lobster because I wasn't sure if I was going to
Oh, I
college.
remember that.
Bro, that's another.
I remember
That's
this.
another story. That is definitely another story. We might have
For
to say
another
that
day. It's gonna be for another
we might have to say
podcast.
that for the next podcast.
You know what else? You know what else story? I'm gonna let you finish your story. The story, and this is for another podcast. But when I got snowed into your house,
Oh, yo.
and your dad had us outside shoveling snow for
Boy,
the
did
whole
it
entire
sure.
neighborhood. We not gonna get out to this, but just remember to remind us, especially in the comments, this is one of the greatest stories for me personally that I can remember because me and bro was different. So he had the whole family thing, siblings, like they eat dinner together. I don't do none of that. I come from dad ain't in the house. Mom, she be out the house. Week at a time, 2 weeks max. It'd be just me and my sister in there thugging. It's just us. No rules. We've been driving to school
Just free reign.
since middle school. We was driving to school.
Damn.
So when his dad had us, but this is gonna be remind us to bring this up.
Yeah,
but
put that down in the comment section to pick it up.
this
I have to
the
get
snow shoveling story. We have to tell it on episode 2.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
we saving it for episode 2 because this is a long one, but this is a banger for me from what I remember because I'm not used to none of this because it was a lot of Good Samaritan action and I was not used to the Good Samaritan action. But I'll let you finish your story you started off with.
Damn, I forgot what I was talking about.
Me too.
You know how
it's the
you know what's
coffee.
crazy, bro? It's you literally can be talking about one thing and flow into another, and you just pick up. I just remember talking about UMES and
So I think to make it easier, we could get straight into the
Yeah,
because we not even in the podcast segment. So our very first segment, right?
we didn't See, this is what happens when you bros and you have a podcast.
15
you got
years
so many
plus
stories and
endless.
It happens, but let's just dive into this Ja Morant thing because
Ja Morant.
I watched him at Murray State. He did his thing in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Made some noise.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the league. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, when they played did they play the Warriors last year in the playoffs?
I have no clue. So what y'all gonna know and put this in context? I have not watched the NBA in like 5 years. Bro be watching the NBA. I'm an NFL fanatic.
I watched the NBA when it's convenient for me.
Yeah, and I don't watch it zero, which is not a bad thing. Everybody love the NBA.
Yeah.
Love the NBA.
Yeah.
Casual fans, be casual. But I fell out of love with the NBA. I'm a Bulls fan. We don't do so hot since the 90s. I was a baby in the 90s. I don't remember none of that.
Yeah, it's cool though. But I just the Grizzlies, like, they're doing their thing. They got a bunch of young boys hooping, making their name for themselves, you know. And I feel like after the negative attractions that surrounded them, they've taken on this Detroit Pistons bad boys image. Like,
Yeah.
come on now. Like, we all know this ain't the 90s anymore. 80s, 90s. Look, whatever y'all want to talk, I don't care. I just know it's between the 80s and the 90s. Whatever time frame it's from, don't quote me on it. Just know that I'm referring specifically to the Detroit Pistons bad boys era.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody knows about that era. Like, for me, it's just like, they was probably like the most hated team in the league because of what they came with. You had Dennis Rodman, notorious
Doing it up.
for just
Crazy.
doing anything.
Crazy.
Isaiah Thomas,
Fouling everybody.
John Sally,
Punching people, elbows, everything.
I couldn't even tell you the whole starting lineup. I just know those specific players because I knew for a fact that they was the ones that gave Mike hell whenever the Bulls played the Pistons. Along with
dirty.
Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson and all them, you know, but I can't say that I understand where he's coming from because I don't have the amount of money that he has.
Yeah.
But I can certainly say
For sure.
that
It's a lot of money.
if I did get the amount of money that he had, knowing that you have kids following you,
Now it figures.
like, they look up to you, they respect you, they got your jerseys, they want to support your
You doing it up.
your Nike clothing line or whatever it is that you have going on with Nike. Like, you really, oh damn, good thing.
Good to
nothing
go.
in it.
And these are props. We're really not drinking anything.
Yeah,
These are all empty. This is not real.
What Dirk say?
These are podcast
All
effects.
props.
They're podcast effects.
But, like, my thing is, like, you really are risking everything for nothing. Like, I don't understand. Maybe it's because I'm a little older now. Because yes, we were young and dumb once.
Mm-hmm.
We got
When you
stories.
young. But
we're not
bro,
gonna share those stories.
But bro is 23, so you not that young.
yeah, he's not that young, but he's not that old.
Yeah,
either.
not that old. So you at the middle ground, right? But for those who don't know, I think this started with a Pacers game, right? So I think they were at Indiana.
No, it was a Lakers game.
No, I'm talking about the Pacers staff. So the thing that happened with the Pacers staff. So he's sitting with the Pacers staff, and they say whatever happens, members of his entourage are pointing a laser. We don't know what kind of laser. So this is all alleged. We don't know if this is just a laser pointer or the other type of laser. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're pointed at the staff.
That beam.
So cool. You get by. Publicists, NBA smooth that out. They say, okay, it's just a red laser. After that, they put the picture and all drop the picture so y'all can see it. It looks like Ja Morant is throwing up gang signs. But it's basketball, and you could just be throwing up anything, you hyped, whatever. So they taking a picture. It looks like he's throwing up the sign, whatever. Then, after that, we see the story. Ja Morant allegedly beats up 17-year-old outside of his house and pulls a gun on him. So the story goes, this is outside his house.
And by the way, we do not condone any type of violence.
Anytime.
We just having a conversation about it. Like, these are just our opinions. we're not swaying towards one side or the other.
Exactly.
This is how we feel. So before y'all come in the comments saying, "Oh, y'all pro this and pro that and con this and con,"
it's none of that.
No, we're just literally just saying how we feel.
We just reporting what's going on,
and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So all you think peace individuals,
and there's a lot of y'all
gonna be talking to yourselves after a while because we not gonna. We just here just vibing like, yeah. But go ahead, bro. My bad.
So I think the NBA publicist team, whatever, they get away with it because they say it happened at his house. He says, even though the kid is 17, he says this is self-defense. The guy threatened me, so allegedly he punches him multiple times in the face. Then he goes back in the house, gets the yada mean, comes back outside, and it's in his waistband, but he's flashing it. He got a hold of the handle. So, but the cops came. He said it's self-defense, and they decided not to arrest him. So he might have had camera footage we don't see, blah, blah, blah. So, but then directly after that, a couple days later, John Morant, 23 years old, worth $100 million, gets on Instagram Live in a club and holds a pistol next to his face. Immediately, same day, hours later, 2-game suspension.
I believe it's indefinitely now.
Yeah.
I think it's indefinite. Like, it's no timetable when he's going to return.
So bro is me, and he's like, oh, it's indefinite now. This is the day. This is indefinite now. So I'm like, this is crazy because you got a dude from South Carolina. They say from Sumter, whatever, South Carolina. He comes in, or whatever, some very small city in South Carolina. He comes in and he's doing his thing, really not making no noise. And now all of a sudden, this 4K Trey, Ja Morant, they saying he signed to the wrong NBA. They saying he actually signed to the NBA Youngboy NBA, Never Broke Again Entertainment instead of the National Basketball Association. And it's going crazy. He's suspended indefinitely. And then you looking at this like, and mind you, the kid just walked in, so we having a little intermission, but we good. So
7 just woke up too.
So you looking at somebody who's worth 9 figures, $100 million, potentially coming into $200 million contract. He's flashing guns on Instagram. He's allegedly beating up 17-year-olds, flashing guns.
And then pulling out a gun in a nightclub.
Having his staff.
And by the way,
well, not his staff.
I saw an article that the league has a strict policy on you bringing firearms to their facilities, whether it's on a plane, whatever. So in the event that is true, because in order to get the gun in the club, if you play for Memphis,
exactly,
and you go all the way to Denver, you had to fly with that.
And you're not supposed to have no gun in the club, no way. But
Exactly.
when you rich and famous, you know they're gonna let you get away with it.
But I just can't wrap my head around what will okay, I can wrap my head around it, but it doesn't mean that I would do it.
Yeah.
Because we all know that when liquor and drugs get involved, that's when everybody makes their worst judgment.
Worst decisions.
So I can understand how that happened, but if I'm him and knowing what I have to lose, I have to ask myself, why did I let this happen?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
because it's no way. We see it as, I guess, really as being grown men now that we're sitting in a place that's like you could see through it. It's like when you young like that,
bro,
and
been there though. Like
you've been there and you really not thinking about it, and like it's kind of trendy. Like it's trendy. Like we came up when social media started being a thing, right? So it's like MySpace and all that. Like, but when we was the youngest, it was no social media. It was none of that. So we were the pioneers of like, especially Instagram came out when we were in like what, middle school, high school.
Yeah.
High school for sure, probably like 9th grade, something like that. So it's like now the trendy thing is, hey, you get on your story, especially for like that hood perspective. You get on a story, you're flashing your gun, you're flashing your money, but it's all social media. That's what you think about. That's what you think about it in your head. Like, hey, this is all social media. It don't matter.
Though, like my thing is though, like a lot of y'all youngins, this is who I'm talking to more specifically, because a lot of people our age, we don't really engage in stuff like this too much. Some of y'all do, and I ain't gonna point y'all out. That's besides the point. But
grow up a little bit. He ain't gonna say I'm gonna just grow up a little bit.
But these youngins, like the stuff that y'all see on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, like y'all do realize that at some point in time, like life is real. Like, just because it might appear one way on social media for the outcome doesn't mean that's going to be the same way for you, simply because it's like, yo, we could have a podcast, right?
Yeah.
But the moment we get up there with notoriety and all these things, which is coming, sleep on us if you want to.
You can do it. I wouldn't advise it.
But that's like one of us going out there knowing what we bring to the social media community and doing something like that. That's where cancel culture comes in. That's when everybody that's, got something to say about something comes in. It's just like, and this is the problem with the internet nowadays, bro. It's like everybody that had, and no disrespect to y'all if y'all had 504s, IEPs, or anything like that, but a lot of people are on the internet that don't have the comprehension skills of which they need to have to adhere to normal standards in society. Like,
really what's going on. Really what's going on.
So, like, all these troll accounts and everybody just saying any and everything, like, you're putting words out there, but you're not really thinking about the thought behind it.
You got to. Because it's too easy. It's too easy with social media to get caught up in that.
It's so easy. All I got to do is say the wrong thing.
Yeah, and as soon as you say the wrong thing, you done.
That's why I'm going to be real selective about the topics that we talk about, because y'all not about to come in our comments talking about, oh, we about to cancel NSP and no.
It ain't happening.
No. Because one thing you're not going to get me on here talking about is politics. And that's probably about it.
Yeah. I say I don't know nothing about politics.
I'm going to stay away from that. Because
I stay away from all of that.
I'm going to just stick with what I know and just be me. Like, that's all I know how to do. Like, I'm just... Yeah, we can talk about whatever's going on in the world, but if I don't want to talk about it, guess what? I'm just not going to comment on it. We just going to bring it up, and I'm like, no comment, next topic. That's just what it's going to be, because this is not going to be one of those things where you're going to try to drop a clip of what we say about something and post it on social media and say that we... No.
Sure.
No. Because I know it's a lot of crafty people out in this world, and they always do that. That's why this whole Lamar Jackson thing got everybody on edge right now. We ain't gonna talk about that.
And speaking of we gonna talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow.
We gonna talk about that. Speaking of sports, because the reason I said we're gonna talk about it, right?
Okay. I wasn't gonna talk about it, but we could talk about it.
Bro is an avid Baltimore Ravens fan.
Die hard.
I'm an avid Falcons fan all my life. The moment I seen Michael Vick throw football, I was
still
done.
Got the jerseys too.
All of them. And most people don't know this because people know me for being a Falcons fan all my life. When I was in early elementary school, I was a Titans fan. And I didn't really know what it meant to be a football fan, but I liked the name. And who was they had a black quarterback too. I can't remember his name. Whatever.
Randall Cunningham?
I can't remember off the top of my head. No, they were still the Titans.
I'm trying to think. Steve McNair.
They had Steve McNair, and I thought he was dope. So I'm like, ooh, I'm a Titans fan.
Yeah, rest in peace to Steve McNair.
As soon as I seen Michael Vick throw a football in like 6th grade, it was over. Falcons fan the rest of my life. But Lamar Jackson, actually tomorrow's the deadline.
Yes.
Either they get a deal done, get him his money, or it's going to the franchise tag. And we all know if it's going to the exclusive franchise tag, he might just not play and go to another team. And that top team, every NFL executive, analyst, everybody says is going to be the Falcons because we got the $70 million salary cap. We got Tyler Algier as a rookie, 1,000-yard rookie season. Run game going crazy. Drake London going crazy. I think he was number 3 after Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. I think he was the 3rd best rookie. And then Kyle Pitts, tight end. In my opinion, best young tight end. And things are looking up. We had Chris Lindstrom, one of the number one rated O-linemen for not letting anything through. But the reason we talk about it is because at first I'm on the Lamar Jackson train. Let's get Lamar Jackson. Get him, pay him.
Since we beat them, which was by, some help of the referees, but nonetheless, it's okay.
It was a little help. They had a little help.
It's okay.
But once I seen Lamar Jackson wanted $250 million, $200 million guaranteed, I started getting crazy. We got it.
They got it.
But we came from the Matt Ryan era, paying him all this crazy money, losing in the Super Bowl, 28-3, 2017. I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. 2017.
That's why I was happy
28
for
to
you when
3.
the Bulldogs won that championship back-to-back
Back to
years.
back.
Because I know
I'm an avid UJ fan.
after watching
Avid
that Super
Falcons
Bowl,
fan. Avid Braves fan.
I was shocked for you.
Everything Georgia sports related except for the NBA. I grew up in a household where we had Chicago Bulls pillows on the couch, all that. So I've always been a Chicago Bulls in the NBA. So I don't like the Hawks. But everything else is Georgia sports. But coming back to it, I'm like, pay the man. But then I see what the price is. And we not talking Nike, we talking Gucci.
Yo.
And then I see Anthony Richardson. It's a guy's not talked about, but you're a Florida fan. So I don't hear much about him. People underestimate him. They say, oh, he's going day 3 in the draft, day 4 in the draft, all this.
His draft,
but then he comes out and gives workouts.
Yes.
He's throwing 70-yard bombs. Absolute bombs. He's running a 4.40. He's doing a broad jump, tied for first for quarterbacks in the history of the draft.
With the vertical jump?
Broad jump.
Oh, okay.
And then his vertical is still up there. It's like a 40.5 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Dude is 6'4", 240. I'm like, we need him. Put him on a rookie contract. You got to pay him a quarter of the money you pay Lamar.
You know what's crazy, though? Mm-hmm. As a Florida Gators fan, like, I've been through the Tim Tebow era. So I've seen us decline after he left. But it's just like, yo.
Yeah, he was a monster in college.
Like Anthony Richardson, I wouldn't say that he's the closest thing that they got to Tim Tebow because that Florida Gators team was actually nasty. Like, they had Aaron Hernandez.
Legitimately.
Who else did they have? I can't even think right now, but
yeah.
Yo, they had so much talent offensively, defensively. It was just, it was their best years. But it's like now they have the offensive pieces, and it's just the defense it's hit or miss. It's like the offense could be clicking, but the defense could be giving up all these points. Now, granted, the whole narrative about Anthony Richardson was that he couldn't win games.
Yeah, couldn't win games. Lost to some questionable schools. But football is also a team sport. It's 12 on 12 both ways.
So his story, I feel like, is going to be not even remotely close to Lamar's because they're two different players. I would never put them in the same category because they're comparing, from what I've seen, they're comparing Anthony Richardson to Josh Allen, which to me, that's saying a lot because of what Josh Allen brings to the table. But it's just like, yo.
But I like that comparison because it's like Josh Allen is tall, and he's a heavy dude.
He can run.
And Josh Allen be not just running, like Lamar Jackson to me.
Pull up Anthony Richardson's highlight tape. I guarantee you're going to see some Lamar, Josh Allen-esque athleticism in terms of what they see.
Hurdling people.
Yeah, it's
running crazy. People over because Josh Allen too. Aside from Lamar Jackson will come out there shifty, elusive. He'll spin you, have you looking crazy. Josh Allen will put his shoulder down and Lamar make you look crazy as a quarterback.
He'll do that when he goes to the sideline, but Lamar will definitely try to juke you out your shoes.
But open field, Josh Allen will put that shoulder down and make you look crazy. But that's the same thing Anthony Richardson will do. Exactly. Hurdle you, make you look crazy.
Break
just
the
pure
tackle
strength.
And still keep running.
It's the pure strength of those two is crazy.
But yeah, it's really crazy because like I'm really like I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm nervous. Like I don't know what they're gonna do because it's like, yo, if you don't
still tomorrow 3:30.
If you don't solidify a deal, it's gonna be a team out there that's gonna just say, hey, I'm gonna hand you a blank check.
I'm taking
whatever you want. Just go ahead and sign that joint. We got you.
Tomorrow at 3:30 is the deadline.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm nervous.
But speaking of,
by the time this episode drop, it have already happened.
You'll know.
So I'm gonna know. So by the next podcast, if he does not sign,
bro, gonna be in here cutting up. I know that.
I'm gonna probably be off the coffee.
You gonna be cutting up.
I'm gonna probably be off the coffee. I'm gonna be like Rashard Bateman, cutting up. I'm gonna be on Twitter. I'm gonna be on Instagram. I'm gonna be on Facebook. I'm gonna get back on MySpace. Y'all better find a way to keep Lamar in Baltimore.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying that Flacco was trash because he got us a Super Bowl. He did what he did.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing.
Shout out to Joe.
The Super Bowl is the most important.
I give him all my respect, but it just came to a point where it was like, yo, like this is not cutting it anymore.
Yeah.
Like the league has already adapted to you because you're not a mobile quarterback. They don't gotta send a whole jailhouse blitz. They can send 3, maybe 4, or just send a linebacker or cornerback because you're not that agile in the pocket. Like you can get up out of there, but boy, you
and in
like
the league, that's what the league is now. When me and you was in middle school, it was like the pocket passer.
Yeah,
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, the guy who could call all the audibles, Brett Favre, Drew Bledsoe, all those guys, Drew Brees. Well, Drew Brees was mobile, so I won't bring up Drew Brees.
But the game was steadily evolving.
It was stiff. Like, you in the pocket, you calling audibles. We all seen Peyton Manning called 5 audibles every single play.
And not even that. Not even say, like, it's a race thing, but it was mostly white quarterbacks that you saw with this style of play. Like, you never really saw that many black quarterbacks that would sit back in the pocket. Like, granted, I didn't watch a whole lot of NFL when I was growing up because I was on it. I don't really remember. I just remember Donovan McNabb, Mike Vick.
Mike Vick was everything to me.
I remember they like even the guys in college like Terrell Pryor and what was his name?
Jamarcus Russell.
Yes, I just knew that he was going to come in the league and do numbers, but it's just when you're a mobile quarterback in college, it doesn't really translate to the NFL. Like, I've accepted that, but it's like now you have to have somewhat of an inkling to be able to be mobile and still be accurate and all these other things.
Yeah.
Because we not going to really get into all that whatever, but
we ain't NFL scouts or analysts or none of that. Like, we just giving our opinions, though. This is base level opinion.
Like, y'all can say what y'all want to say about Lamar Jackson. I don't care.
Yeah.
He has the stats to prove that he has a running record. I know his playoff record is not the best, but guess what? Peyton Manning's playoff record wasn't the best.
Yeah, not the
Josh
best.
Allen just lost this past season.
His playoff record definitely the best.
To the Bengals. Like, I'm not really trying to hear anything about him not deserving whatever, but it's neither here nor there. This is how I feel.
Speaking of quarterbacks, though, I want to know how you feel about A.J. Mccarron, right? Bama guy. And I don't know if you've seen this, right? But the XFL just picked up A.J. McCarron to be a starting quarterback in the XFL. So he's in the NFL. I think his last gig was with the Falcons as like a third string or something, right? But he's still making millions. A.J. McCarron from Bama. He came out. He hasn't done no noise in the league. Always been a backup, but he's getting paid. When you're a backup quarterback in the league, you making $8 million a year.
You know what?
$9 million a year.
You know what's so funny? That bathroom story that you was telling.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I've been going through it for the last 5 minutes trying to hold it.
Yeah.
So guess what? We're gonna have to take a brief intermission. We're gonna come right back.
Hey, just like that, after a brief intermission, we back.
Now I know how you felt.
You know how I felt. The floodgates was
open.
open.
What's crazy is I know how that feels because I've been in a situation where it was like, yo, what?
The floodgates opening.
Bro, I don't know if y'all could tell, but
and you want to keep it flowing. You want to keep
it
going, but you start struggling.
I said, damn.
You start looking at their person like, hey, this conversation gets a little crazy. I
ain't want to get cross-eyed on the podcast. That wouldn't be a good look. But all right, so you said.
But we was talking about A.J. McCarron, right? So he leaves the NFL, and he says this is why. He said his son said, "Dad, I want to see you play football again." So he come from making backup times $8 million, sometimes $3 million, whatever a year, right? His last one was like $2.5 million, but it's like $2 million guaranteed for 1 year. So he transitions to XFL. He's going to be a starter. Son's going to see him play football again. But it's for $1.2 million for 1 year. But at that $1.2 million, the only thing guaranteed is $137,500. And my thing in my head is like, where do you – so A.J. McCarron is into his 30s now at this point, right?
I bet.
Where do you say what's more important? Because when you look back and both us being – fathers, 2 sons. Is it the money and establishing the future, or saying right now, all my son wants to do is see me play football? So I'm going to take the cut significantly and play football. And my opinion on it is, for me, it'd be a dumb move because I could get $2 million guaranteed instead of $137,000 guaranteed into my 30s and establish a much better, much more secure future. But this is what I also don't know. I don't know what A.J. McCarron's done so far. He's probably could save up money, invest money, all that. Mm-hmm. So if you've done all that stuff smart and you have more money, because this is what he said, I have more money, I made more money than I know what to do with, but all my son want to see me. So I'm thinking kind of like critically about it, that this is just what I would do. I'll stick with the NFL, be able to establish businesses, whatever, investments, all these funds for my kids, make sure they college get all that, but keep making the money. But I can also see, like, I would want my son to, like, see me play and be able to see that dream, like, see it out. Like, my dad fought for the dream. And he fought for what I wanted. So, like, I'm on the fence, but I'm more leaning towards, like, hey, I would have stayed in the NFL and rode the bench. And you just come up, you just show up to practice, you getting paid millions a year. So that's the way I think about it. But I just really want to wonder your take because I know there's going to be way different opinions on this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, and I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I just feel like for me, personally, I would take the sacrifice to have my son see me play because we already know that our days aren't for sure on this earth.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So for my son to want to see me play, and maybe it's just one game, maybe it's just 2 games, maybe 3 games, however many games it is, just the fact that he wants to see me play would satisfy me enough because there's not any amount of money in the world that can replace the bond that me and my son had. Like, you know what I mean?
Your son gets to see be that guy.
So yeah, I might be 30 years old in the XFL, but guess what? I'm starting quarterback. Yeah. My son get to see me play every
He sees you get to be that guy again. My dad is that guy because your kids don't care about the money.
They don't.
They don't even register.
It's just like when I come home from work, bro. Both. Because I got twins. So
you don't care about the money.
Those of y'all who know me, y'all know I got twins. But for those of you who don't know me, I got twins. I got a boy and a girl. Shout out to my babies. But when I come in from work, bro, they don't care what kind of day that I've had. Like,
you're their dad.
Yeah, like, dad's home. It's time to play.
I'm party.
I
Let's
don't even
party,
know
Holmes.
why I bought them a playpen. I don't know why I bought them cribs.
Ain't going in it.
Like, I don't know why I bought none of that stuff. But it's not even about the money. Like, still to this day, I promise you, I will sleep on the floor next to my kids, even if I make like a little pallet, you know, just something because it's like they don't want to sleep in their bed. Okay, well, I don't want to sleep in my bed either, so I'm going to meet y'all in the middle. We're going to lay on the floor.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a backstory behind that is I put up these 2 damn cribs. And, you know, when you got twins, you got 2 everything.
Oof, I don't know nothing about that. And I got 4 kids now, but my 2 are older.
Yeah.
So we was born in set, 2 and 2.
I just so happened to get blessed with 2 at one time.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
Putting 2 cribs together, boy, my back was hurting. Like, bro.
I be putting one together at the time, and I be hurting.
Yo, I put the cribs together just for them not to sleep in it. They sleep on the floor next to each other.
Never.
But I'm like, you know what? They find comfort in it. Yeah. So I'm not.
And you they dad.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna force them. Like I eventually want them to sleep in the daggone bed because it's like, yo, this is just not really what we're gonna be doing every day.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you know, it's just the little things like what they find comfort in and what they see. They don't care about these damn cribs. They don't care that I have whatever amount of money that I have. They don't care what kind of car that I drive. All they know is my dad is my hero, and I want to see like.
He's my hero. Like, I want to see him be that guy.
Yeah, like
I want not just see him be that guy, but like I want to participate in the cool stuff he's doing.
Yeah, and not only that, like I just want him to be able.
Hey, we had a little technical difficulties, but we back.
My boy got the shades on too. Yes, sir. That coffee hitting.
Had to take a little coffee break.
That coffee hitting.
Shout out to the wife. We had a little Popeyes break. She brought the Popeyes in.
Yeah, need to get that in.
But we started off on a little heavy note, but coming towards the end of the podcast, I want to leave on a light note, a little funny note, something very near and dear to me. We all know I'm a Drake stan.
Yes, sir.
My very favorite artist, with a caveat, right,
mm-hmm.
is Drake. Aside from my second favorite, when I talk about rap, when I talk about lyrics, like people who's really rapping, like not like Drake does rap. Right,
but he's more so a lyricist, but you know
he is a lyricist, but he come with the Hotline Blings and the God's Plans and all these records. That's more pop.
Everything
that more
everybody want to hear.
Yeah, everything everyone to hear. So my best pure lyricist is Nas. My son's named after Nas. They both named Nasir. So pure rap, Nas is my favorite all time. My son's named after him, etc., etc. But Drake got on a interview recently with Lil Yachty, and he was trying to, I guess, contextualize what it feels like to be Drake. And this is what he had to say, and we gonna listen to it all together. And I want to get your take on it because this is a very Drake take for him to say. I'll just say this is a very Drake take, and we gonna get into it.
People, I have to like humanize myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was
So this
talking
is what
to
Drake
a
had to
therapist
say
at
about
one
himself,
point,
talking to
and
his
he said
therapist.
something. And he was like, you know, it was a really valid point. I'm not really a big therapy guy. I don't feel like I necessarily want the same life as a therapist is trying to pitch me on, which is like some life of like morals and simplicity and those type of things.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't have morals and simplicity, but like I don't need my life to be rooted in like find somewhere to disappear in the world and like disconnect from everybody. That's not really like where I'm headed.
Drake,
Right.
over-explain it already.
But I did talk to a therapist one time, and he made this point about being like, you know, no matter what kind of woman you're chasing physically, right? Like you like ass, you like titties, you like he's like, you have the biggest tits in the room.
Great.
He's like, you walk into any room and you have the most gigantic tits.
It wouldn't be Drake
Nobody
if he
can
didn't say
think
those
about
shit.
anything else other than whatever your gigantic tits, which is you're Drake. I remember this about this guy. I remember that about this guy. I bet this guy does this. I bet this guy does that. Like all the preconceived notions, they're just like, they can't see past the gigantic tits unless they talk to you. And then they're like, oh, wow, like you're actually, like, I mean, your tits are huge, but you're super smart.
It's crazy. Like,
You know, or like you're really nice and kind.
Yeah.
So Drake's therapist compares him to the girl with the biggest boobs in the room, like this. And then he comes on interview. So really, this is really kind of how I feel about it, right? So Drake says this, and I'm like, this is the most Drake thing I've ever heard. And I can't tell whether it's fake or real because we have things recently, like he got the chain that's all diamonds, right? And I'm gonna put it up on the screen for y'all. And the story is, it's like however many stones represents however many times he felt like he wanted to propose to a girl in his life. Very Drake story. But then he's saying like, this is all just like playing into like what y'all thinking about me. So I don't know how to take this clip. I'm like, is this just propaganda or is this like just the Drake? Like he was really sitting there with a therapist and this like, I do not know how to decipher if this really happened or not.
well, first of all, shout out to all the dudes out here that's got therapists, because that's definitely important to have, because it's like you and I have each other,
Yeah, for sure.
but sometimes people need something more than that. And I'm not shaming anybody that needs that because everybody needs that blind
Absolutely.
ear that would just listen and not judge. So, I commend them for that, for one. Two, that's definitely some Drake shit.
That's some Drake shit. That is some Drake shit all the way.
But I understand what he's saying because it's like no matter what you do in life, if you're famous, I would just say whether you have, I just say famous because you can have money and nobody know who you are.
Yeah.
But if you're famous, it puts a more bigger target on you because all eyes are on you, TMZ's on you, anybody that's in a room, they got their cameras out. Because this is the day and age we live where it's nobody just existing in the moment. Everybody's got to capture the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, Drake walking in the room, all cameras is out, all phones
Everything.
is out. Like
Everybody sees you.
So it's like, yo, all eyes is literally on him because of who he is and what he's done. Like, so for me, I get what he's saying.
Yeah, and I feel it. And I think it's a lot of propaganda too. But
Because the analogy,
I thought this was
bro,
hilarious.
The analogy is just crazy because you could have used anything else.
Anything.
But you
compared
to stuff that like, okay.
But outside of that, right? Before this, we got COB. Girls love girls. Say that I'm lesbian. Girl, me too. Everybody was memeing that.
Right.
Drake's a lesbian. Blah, blah, blah. They posting with the thing. And then after that, 21. Can you do something for me? And they memeing him again.
Backlash with that too, though. Like, God.
So then the necklace. this could have been however many girls I want to propose to in my life. They memeing you again about it. And now it's this, and you comparing yourself, whether it's a troll or not. To me, it's hilarious. To me, it's good marketing.
No, it's
but I feel like the other people,
it's absolutely excellent marketing.
Yeah.
Because you're targeting what you know what the people are gonna harp on because you're trending. I guarantee he was probably trending on Twitter for probably almost a week.
Yeah.
I don't even really be on Twitter like that no more because you know my life has just took a turn because I'm now a father. So it's like
Exactly.
I don't divert my attention to social media as much as I used to. But now it's just like now having a podcast, I gotta kind of tune in.
Yeah, you
find
tuned
out
in. Yeah.
To see what's going on in the world so that I can relate and give my feedback or my opinion or whatever it is that I can input to the conversation. But it's just like, for me, this is very Drake-esque.
Very.
And I'm not surprised.
It's
But
very
just like,
Marvin's Room.
I have friends that literally say that they would rather deal with a dude that has money rather than status.
I'm telling you.
Because they know what comes with it.
I'm telling you.
So it's like y'all could so much as be as going to damn what they got Whataburger or wherever it is, wherever you at, whatever the most known popping spot is. If you're famous and you show up there, bro, it's not about what you're doing. It's about who you're doing it with.
And who you are, and who you doing it with.
Because not even just who you are, but it's like, okay, we know who Drake is. But it's like, okay, let me see who is with him so we can just take a picture of this and just portray
Even
it as
them
one
too.
thing. It's like, yo, like, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's really not.
Yeah.
Because there's always 3 sides to every story. And I say that because it's your story, it's the other person's story, and it's the person's story who took the goddamn picture in the first damn place to paint the picture to make it seem like something that what it's not.
Exactly.
So what I tend to really see like nowadays, like I literally have a group chat with friends where we just talk about either whether it's BMF or whatever's going on in the world, or BMF is definitely like
not as good as the other seasons to me,
but
especially with the fake dog.
Yeah.
In the
that
church.
was crazy. I felt like I was
crazy.
watching an episode of Martin. Yo,
I'm telling you.
Yo.
I'm telling
Yo,
you.
like. But yeah, if y'all don't watch BMF, y'all might want to start now because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm going to spoil it anyway because you should have been watched it.
Snowfall better. Let me just Snowfall
you know
better.
what's crazy? All these shows, I don't know if y'all really big on Your Honor, but Your Honor comes on Showtime. They in season 3 right now. I watched Your Honor when it was 2 seasons in, and it was just straight on a platform. But saying all this to say, like, whatever is hot,
Yeah.
the crowd's gonna follow.
Oh, they gonna follow you for sure.
So with him, he knows what he's doing when he says stuff like that.
Drake, he know what he's doing.
Drake.
This is
Like,
Drake's been high for so long, but I think the biggest thing is people don't know today. Kids don't know. The people that's younger than us don't know. We're 30 years old. We're showing our age right now, but
yeah, it's okay.
there was a time in this world where music was dominated by the G units in the club music,
10-17, Brick
Squad. But not only that, that was a little later, right?
Yeah.
All the street stuff.
Yeah,
Little
it was.
John, G Unit,
The East Side
E40, all that stuff where club music was the big thing. With a little, like, you would get the gangster portrayal of these people, right? And Drake came out, and Drake was demonized.
because he was light skinned.
They said he's soft. He raps about emotions. What is this? Most kids do not know this day that there was a day and time when Drake was getting hot in like 2009, 2010, and people were like, what is this?
A lot of people don't even know about Wheelchair Jimmy. Like,
In the wheelchair, Degrassi.
yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that. So it's like we've seen, me and you have been able to see at our age, Drake come from the guy nobody likes to like Houston, Atlanta, Vegas Drake.
Aubrey Graham to Drake, Drizzy,
Drake, Drizzy, Rogers.
whatever. You like, yo, it's crazy though because like everybody has a starting point in life, but it's all about what's hot. You know what I mean? So it's like if you get in at the right time and gain the right traction, oh, bro, you're going to be hot forever until that phase is played out. And then once you're done with that phase, you got to go to the next. So
Especially
it's like,
if you play it right.
I see, like, with a lot of artists now, especially him, like, what was the last album he put out?
Her Loss, 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Hard.
Bro.
Banger.
I literally, and I'm pronunciating my words because this is how I want y'all to understand what
All
I'm saying,
syllables.
right? I literally didn't listen to the album for a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
I just waited to see what everybody had to say, right? Everybody had mixed reviews about it, right? But the more I kept listening to it, the more I heard one side, the more I heard the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I developed my side, going back to three sides to everything.
Yes.
Bro, I developed my own opinion. I'm like, bro, this is a banger. Like,
this is crazy.
You have to understand, like, certain audiences won't adapt to the music he put out.
Exactly.
So everybody that wants a specific thing, like, yeah, I know the baggage that comes with 21 Savage. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
But, however, you have to be able to adapt in this generation now, because it's like, yo, you have to cater to the TikToks. You got to cater to the Instagrams.
All this stuff.
You got to you got to cater to the Twitters and whatever else is popping, because the more something trends, whether it's good or bad,
yeah,
people going to click on it.
Click on it. And I think that's
it's an excellent marketing strategy.
It's a double-edged sword. It's just like
always,
especially
always anything that you do in life is going to be a double-edged sword, because whether people want to admit it or not, like, it's some women that frown upon men having 9-to-5 jobs, but that's another story.
That's another story for another pod. We'll bring it up in two. The snow shoveling story and that story, we'll bring it up in podcast number 2.
It's always a double-edged sword with everything in life. You know what I mean? But I just, what you think, bro? You think we hit on all bases today, or like?
I think we hit on all bases, but I want to touch on one more thing before we get out of here. One of the hottest things, because I think it came out yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. Before we get out of here, Chris Rock.
Yo,
Chris Rock came out, and I watched about half of it because, personally, before you even get into it, I'm on Will Smith's side. And I'm on Will Smith's side because I'm a married man, so I get it. I'll just say my wife knows that, and I'll say as well, I'm a very cool, calm, collected individual. I don't get out of line. I don't do anything extra, but I've been in personal situations that I won't get into, that my wife has had to see me with people who tried to play with my wife, and I turn up, and then my wife has had to tell me that I've never seen that side of you, but I appreciate you defending me, I appreciate you championing me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That you're very calm, you got a long fuse, but you don't let people play with me. Right. And I've had to go to extents where people thought they were going to play with my wife, and it wasn't going that way. I'm applying pressure. So I see the Oscars, and from what I've seen, they say this is however many years of built-up tension that they say Chris Rock been joking on Jada. And then what I see from it is, like, you talk about the no hair thing, and G.I. Jane, your comedian is an innocent joke, but when you're Will Smith and your wife, and then she says she got alopecia and she can't help it, she's losing her hair, and a lot of women don't go through that, like balding, right. Stuff like that. So it's personally your wife. Right. So to keep my wife's name out your mouth could have been it, because Chris Rock said okay, like he agreed with that. So you really didn't have to go on stage and slap him, because. What I feel like, if I'm in a situation where I got to defend my wife and I press somebody, because I've been there and she can vouch for me, if I press you and you back down, cool. If I press you and you don't back down, I've been there too. It goes a different way. And I've been there too. So it's like, I felt like he was at a cool point. He pressed him. Chris Brown was like, okay, but it was still kind of like sarcastic, like, oh, it's just a joke kind of thing. So I kind of get it, but you don't do that, Oscar. Black man on black man. Yeah. You don't have to do that to another black man in front of other races. But then what I see after it is Chris Rock kind of going to a shell, and then his kind of family starts explaining. His brother's like, he's real sensitive about his stuff. Like, this is really affecting him. Like, it's going crazy. Like, they kind of made it seem like Chris Brown. Lord. Jesus. Chris Rock was this super victim, and he's very super meek, but he gets on the Netflix special.
And goes in.
He's calling Will Smith multiple bitches.
Yeah.
Not only him, he's calling Jada Pinkett Smith multiple bitches.
Right.
Going in hard. But then at the end, he says that Will Smith is a bitch because of what he did to him, because he knows he's bigger than him. Whatever.
Right.
But I'm like, that don't apply. I'm like, man to man, I feel like if you got smacked by another man at the Oscars, you don't got no right to call that man that word. You just don't got no right. Like, in that moment, you did nothing. He said, my parents taught me not to fight in front of white people, which I'm like, I just don't get. I'm like,
right.
Man-to-man situation.
Somebody
like,
slap me, I'm slapping their ass back.
First off, we're taking off. It's going to get ugly. I don't care if we two black men. We supposed to look whatever.
I got to defend myself, regardless whether I'm right or wrong.
Exactly.
I'm not the only one leaving. Now, granted, you slapped me 7 ways to Sunday, which
right.
is probably not going to happen. But,
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, it's going to go however it goes.
Yeah. But So, like we was talking about with the double-edged sword, right? Some pros, some cons. In this situation, the cons heavily outweigh the pros because, yeah, you can say what you want to say, right?
Yeah.
You can say, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Cool. But the moment you got up to slap him on national television, you not only embarrassed him, but you embarrassed yourself.
Exactly. Both ways.
Because he was the same guy that went public with the entanglement. Like,
yeah.
And even Chris Rock
did that to themselves.
Granted, I didn't even watch the special that he had because I just watched snippets of it because I like to watch things at my own pace because it's like, okay, I know that this is trending and it's hot right now. Let me just have time when I do have time to sit down and digest what's being said. Now, the snippet that I did see, he definitely clapped back in a Chris Rock way.
Yeah.
So Will Smith got to deal with that because at the end of the day, you embarrassed him on national television. Now, granted, Chris Rock might not be seeing it that way. The viewers might not be seeing that way. But Chris Rock got to get his get back in some form or fashion because you not only embarrassed me, but you embarrassed my family in a sense because it's like, yo, you slapped me. So now everybody thinking they can try the Chris Rock family.
Yeah, everybody think they can Will Smith
they
me.
think they straight.
They could do me dirty.
They straight sweet. Like,
it's prison rules, jail rules.
But the one thing I will say about that is I definitely don't agree with how Will handled it. Like, he could have just said what he said. He ain't had to get up and slap him. I understand why Chris Rock didn't respond in the way that he did.
Yeah, me too.
But it's like, God damn, bro. Like, at some point in time, sometimes you just have to say, like, regardless of how big this dude is, how much money he has, how much fame he has, how much I got to lose, blah, blah, blah. If somebody was to come up to me,
open hand
slap me,
you see him coming. It's a long runway. He walked a long way to go smack him. You see him coming.
To walk down and open hand slap me, bro, you're not making it back.
That's
to that
crazy.
Seat.
We would have been brawling at the Oscars.
They would have had to go to a commercial break.
I would have never hosted the Oscars again. They would have fired me.
Man, because that's the difference between pride and being a man.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, a lot of people might say, well, what do you mean by that? Being prideful, you can still be a man and still be prideful. Because I know somebody's probably going to try to break this down, whatever the case is. I'm not saying that just because you're a man, you don't have pride or whatever the case is. That's not it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, as men, in the moment, we have to pick and choose our battles because it's like, damn, he just slapped the hell out of me.
Open hand. That's crazy.
What is going to be
I'd rather you
response?
punch me
than
open hand smack me. That means if a man walks up to me and open hand smacks me, to me that means he thinks I'm going to do nothing.
At all.
Nothing.
At all. But my thing is, it's like, yo, like, sometimes you just got to know when to fight the right battles. And I ain't even going to lie, bro. If I was Chris Rock, I'd have risked not hosting the Oscars again.
I'm telling you.
I'd have risked whatever charges I would have had to face, like, bro, you not about to slap me on national television and have everybody talking about me for weeks.
At all.
Memeing me up for weeks.
At all.
Nah, bro, we gonna get this shit resolved, like,
We gonna get this together.
right here, right now. Like, no, bro, like that, yo, it's really a double-edged sword. But I would just say, like, Will Smith apologized for it. I really feel like he meant it.
And Chris Rock said too. Chris Rock said in the special, I love Will Smith.
Yeah.
I've always loved him.
And
even
they
before he
didn't
said
have
the
any beef.
emancipation thing, he's like,
Or the
I went from
concussion
loving him to I want to
He
watch
even said he even tried to
Emancipation.
call him. Like he said, I tried to call this man. He didn't answer.
He's like, I went from loving to see Emancipation to wanting to watch him get whooped. I think it's still love between both of them.
Yeah, but it's just
And I feel like it's two people that it's not egos getting away now because we're so far from the event, but it's people's, especially for him, this is his job now. Like as a comedian,
Like,
so
this
he
is
got to
on
joke
his-
about it.
on his comedian, or
But
like, you could just say on his famous record.
Yeah, but I just feel like he took the jokes too far. When you keep saying the B word over and over and over,
Yeah, like
for Will Smith, he said it about 10 times.
Yeah, he did
To make sure people knew he was saying,
did.
and it was in Baltimore too.
Yeah, he definitely did.
And then he called Jada the B word about like 3-4 times, whatever it was.
Now I will say, in comedy, okay, I get it because I've seen Dave Chappelle do it. I've seen a lot of comedians do it,
Yeah.
and they mean nothing by it. It's just in the comedian realm, it's a term of endearment, nothing more, nothing less. But outside of the comedian realm, bro, it's you called my lady a bitch, like
Oh, it's over.
yeah.
Because I don't care. Like to me, that's the point.
I don't
like
know. I'm just glad
you can make jokes if you can make jokes, but that's out of bounds. You out of bounds.
I'm glad I don't have these problems. That's all I'm going to say. 'Cause, bro, it's a lot that celebrities go through that people don't realize. Because I understand how, like if Chris Rock went into a show, I can understand that. Like I can understand the pressure that Will was under with the entanglement
sure.
thing.
Both of
like,
them.
yeah, like bro, like it was a lot of built up pressure, and the pipe finally burst. You know what I mean? So it's like,
for both of them.
At some point in time, one of them had to let off steam one way or another. Now, granted, Will Smith handled it the wrong way, but now you have to deal with the backlash that came with the comedy special because you gave him the ammo. So you can't be mad at what he said on his comedy special because you gave him the bullets.
Yeah. But now if you double back and I'm the B word, my wife's the B word, I'm about to triple back. I'm about to triple back. Crazy.
You know what?
You might get slapped again on camera.
Man. I don't know, bro. Like that's really like
It's tricky.
Yo,
It's tricky. It gets tricky out
none
here.
of my business. I mind the business that pays me. I just damn.
But I really feel like we came here today, do what we had to do.
Yeah, for sure.
But once again, it's PM and Clay.
Yes, sir.
And we gonna end out like this, right? Clay, younger brother, Mr. Too Icy himself.
Yes, sir.
Baltimore's very own native son. Producer extraordinaire. Not only Baltimore's very own native son, he's out in LA doing what he got to do, doing his thing. Not only working, grinding, putting in the effort, but in this production world, I'm really putting out tracks, really putting out projects. We really want to champion him because this work he's done, he gave us these beats to use. He didn't say, bro, I need this and that.
Facts. And that's
I
love.
want this and that.
And that's love.
To use my work, you need to pay me this. And he didn't say none of that. He blessed us with this. We came in on the intro with one. We gonna go out on the intro with another one. This is one of my favorite ones.
Yo.
I'm feeling this. I love this. Was gonna be original intro.
Man, when he first gave me this track to use because I used to do gaming, but once I took a backseat to that, oh my God.
I'm feeling this. This is a
Bro.
vibe. And his link gonna be down in the description. Our presenting sponsor, Loyalty World Code. On the front with the truck is gonna be down in the description. We need y'all to go like.
No risk, no reward t-shirts out right now. They ain't
They
dropped on the
coming.
website yet, but guess what?
They
We
coming.
drop them,
Loyalty World.
cop them.
Loyalty World. Never Sunday Podcast. NSP. It's been a good day to be.
Yes, sir.
PM and Clay. Clay and PM. And it's just like that. We out.